Hallo, ich heiße Jenny. Ich komme aus England und ich kann Englisch, Deutsch und Chinesisch sprechen. I was interested in learning German because I decided to move to Germany. When I did that, I realized that it would be really important for me to learn German so that I could connect with the people there. I would be able to speak freely. So for example, if I were to go to a supermarket or go to a restaurant to order food, just basically that I would be able to survive. That was why I was interested in learning German. So how long did it take me to learn German? Well, actually, I only took classes for around 1 month. And that was because I started my job relatively quickly after moving there. So most of my German was learnt during work. I picked up a lot from my colleagues, also my boss as well. Also, I had some German friends and they were also able to guide me with my language learning. So here are some of the common mistakes that native English speakers make when they learn German. These are some of the mistakes that I made, so now hopefully you won't have to. So first off, my first biggest mistake was thinking that German was really easy to learn. And that's because a lot of the words are very similar to the English. Because of that, I just thought it would be such an easy language to learn, and I got a huge shock when I realized it was actually very difficult. Secondly, there are a lot of grammar-related mistakes that you can make, as German grammar is very difficult and also quite complicated. Another common mistake that many English speakers make when learning German is misunderstanding the articles. In German, there are 3 articles, der, die, and das, and they go before the nouns. They can also seem to be quite random. We may think, why would an inanimate object like a shoe or a table have a gender? For native English speakers, it seems kind of strange. So as I said, there are 3 articles, der, die, and das. Der is the masculine article. So for example, table, der Tisch, table is masculine. Door, Tür, is feminine, so it becomes die Tür. And book is neutral, so it becomes das Buch. The best way to get your head around these articles is to just try and memorize as much vocabulary as possible. Remember to always learn the article when you start to learn new vocabulary. It'll really pay off in the long run. One tip that I can give you from my German learning experience is that over time, you'll notice that some words have certain endings in common. So for example, kite, K-E-I-T, and U-N-G are usually feminine. Also, ling, L-I-N-G, and or, O-R, are normally masculine. Line, L-E-I-N, shin, C-H-E-N, are usually used with the article das. It can seem a little bit strange, so words that we would expect to be feminine, for example, could be something different. So, for example, the word Mädchen, or small girl, is neutral, even though it describes a small girl, which of course is female. Another common mistake that native English speakers make when learning German is the pronunciation. So German pronunciation is notoriously difficult, and yeah, that was my experience too. Let's start with some of the easier ones and then we'll get to something more difficult. So, the PF sound in German is actually not like a P and not like an F in English, it's a combination of both. So it becomes P. Next, if you see a Q and a U in any German word, please don't think it's pronounced the same as English, Qu. It is not. You have to try and replace the U in the English with a V sound. So, for example, Kv, Kv. Okay, we're on to the third one now, and it is getting more and more difficult. So, the CH sound is very hard for a lot of native English speakers to say, and it's still something that I struggle with now. CH is more like a sh sound, but it's not like an SH, sh. It's not like that kind of sound. It comes more from the back of your mouth, so you have to move your jaw backwards slightly, so it becomes a sh sound. Okay, so finally we're on to the most difficult one for me, which is the R sound in German. So the R becomes like an air sound. For example, in the word red, in German it is rot. Rot, yeah. So for me, that is a sound that is still really difficult, and you know what, that's okay, because German speakers can actually still understand me even though my pronunciation is not perfect. It's one of those things that I will just keep on trying to practice, but actually it's okay if it's not perfect. If English is your native language, then the German verb order or even the word order in general can seem really strange. It's very different to what we would expect as native English speakers. So Generally speaking, the second and third verbs are at the end of the sentence in German, which of course is very different to English. In this example that I'll give you now, the verbs actually clarify the difference. So, ich möchte draußen gehen. Ich möchte draußen gehen. Literally, I like outside go. Of course, that sounds really strange in English, but it would mean I would like to go outside. Okay, and here's another example for you. So, ich mag Schokolade, weil sie lecker ist. Ich mag Schokolade, weil sie lecker ist. So, literally in English, it means I like chocolate because it's delicious is. So the is goes all the way to the end of the sentence. I like chocolate because it's delicious. And of course, we see here that Schokolade is die, it's feminine. So there we go, those are my tips for learning German. But don't forget to have fun while you're learning. That is also really, really important. Good luck, viel Erfolg, bye, tschüss!